Alright, hello my wonderful students. This is the pre-foldable number 1 for section 2.4 as the parent functions of all the graphs. So let's go ahead and get into it. Let me zoom in a little bit. Alright, so the first one here, whenever we're graphing, we always want to just go ahead and use the simplest, -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. And this is going to be able to give us our function of f. F of x is equal to x. So as we know, this is linear. Line AR, so linear, and this is going to just create a line. So if we plug in here -2 for x, the y is actually going to be -2 as well. Once again, we plug in our -1 for x, then the y is also going to be -1, and then same thing, we're going to have 0, 1, and 2. So the way this looks like on the graph, if we have our points -2, -2, we go -2, -2, have our first point, -1, -1, second point, 0, 0, 1, 1, and then 2, 2. And this would give us our first line, or our first function, which is linear. Here. Alright, we can go ahead and do the second one while we're at it. Scoot up just a little bit. The next one we have is f of x is equal to x squared. But remember, f of x is also, it's just a fancy way of saying y is equal to x squared, just like the top one. But f of x is our function, and since we are in iMath 3 Honors, we should know f of x as a function. So once again, we're going to use -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. For this one, it's going to be a little different now, because when we plug it, this is also going to be a quadratic function. Oh, well, you don't quadratic. When we plug in our -2 to the x squared, so we have y is equal to -2 squared. This ends up being 4. Y is equal to -1 squared, which ends up being 1. Y is equal to 0 squared, 0. Y is equal to 1 squared is equal to 1. And y is equal to 2 squared is equal to, I was going to put 2, 4. 1 and 4. So now we can go ahead and plot our points. So we have our first one is at -2 and 4. The second one is at -1 and 1. 0, 0. +1 and 1. And +2 and 4. So if you see here for this one, we also have a nice parabola for a quadratic, and we have to remember our arrows because these do go to infinity. And these are our two graphs for the linear and then for the quadratic.